Turkey and Indonesia, who are Muslim countries, and they are civilized. What's your opinion about that?
Well, it's a matter of degree. The laws of Turkey and Indonesia, it's illegal to leave Islam. So it's a matter of relativism. So even if you're in Turkey, I have emails from people from Indonesia who want out because they want to leave Islam and they're hiding it because they've been stabbed. So the problem with Sharia law also is it doesn't give the punishment for leaving Islam to the police and the state. It's in the hands of people on the street. So if you leave Islam and you live in Turkey, you're not scared of the police and the government, even though legally you can change your religion to Christianity in Turkey. But you're afraid of your neighbor who can come and behead you for it. And it's happened in Turkey. It's happened. So the fear of Sharia is because it gives the right to the application of the law to the hands of the people on the street. Vigilante street justice is allowed under Sharia law. Vigilante street justice. Armed killing.
What is it?
Is allowed. Yes, sir, in the back. Thank you.
Yes, the French philosopher Voltaire said that as long as people believe absurdity, they will continue to commit atrocities.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
I said the French philosopher Voltaire said that as long as people believe absurdities, they're going to commit atrocities. Something I believe. And for the most part, I believe with what you said about Islam. It's certainly probably one of the most malignant absurdities ever concocted by the human mind. But I'm no fan of other religions either. For example, the history of persecution against the Jews. Look at Catholic Spain and the Inquisition. So none of these religions. Voltaire had a low opinion of all of them, and I feel the same way. Sometimes I think I would.
The only difference between Christianity and Islam in that regard is the tyranny that happened by the Christians in Europe against the Jews did not happen because Jesus commanded them to kill Jews. They did it despite of their religion.
I agree.
But Islam were doing it because Muhammad told them to do that.
I don't want to get into an argument about the history of anti-Semitism or anything like that. This would go all over the place. I'd like to be more specific. The things you said about Islam are probably true. I agree with most of it. But this is nothing new. Islam has been around for hundreds of years. Now, we've been around for over 200 years. What I would like you to answer is why all of a sudden has become a problem. All of a sudden it's a problem. When I was growing up, it wasn't a problem. I was in graduate school, it wasn't a problem. In the
Islam was not a problem.
mid-'80s, terrorism.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. That's very simple. It's very simple. It's the world started, immigration from the Middle East 50 years ago. I mean, the Middle East and America never met except starting 50 years ago when oil money started to influence American politics.
So it's American policy. See, I suppose
so that's why. But there was. When we were close to them, the Barbary Wars, 150 years ago, the Barbary Wars, I can't remember exactly
That's
what.
right. The Barbary
Yeah. Well, if you're close to the Arab world, you would have been, your ships would have been hijacked, and because you're an infidel.
That's true.
When the Barbary Wars happened, and they were seizing those European and American ships,
That's true.
the ambassador of Libya, the Libyan ambassador was interviewed by the American I can't remember who, maybe Jefferson, but
Jefferson was president.
yeah, and he told him, according to what law gives you the right to seize our ships and to seize the ships of Europeans?
That's true. That's what
and he told him verbatim, This is our Quran tells us to do that to non-Muslims. Our Quran tells us that.
That wasn't, the Barbary pirate issue was an issue of piracy and paying indemnity to the Muslim world.
Yes.
And Jefferson was very careful not to let this conflict escalate into a general religious war between Islam and Christianity.
Of course.
That's why the U.S. government, he was a real diplomat because he actually had some brains. But when we went in there, we also had a document that told the Islamic leaders that this was not a religious war. We said specifically, the United States is not founded on the Christian religion. We are going into a very specific operation to clean out these pirates. And
just like Somalia today, there are pirates who are doing the same thing.
Yes, well, she still hasn't told me why in the past 20 years this escalated into this conflict. When Reagan was president...
Because the Arab world has become very powerful with oil money. The Arab world was always poor, and up to the mid-20th century, the Arab Islam was decaying, declining, and evaporating. It was a house of cards that was collapsing. And suddenly, we discovered the oil, and they became rich again, so Islam was resuscitated by us, by our dollars.
Reagan, in 1985, sent troops into Lebanon, and over 200 Marines were killed. Okay, what was Reagan's response? When 200 Marines were killed in Lebanon,
he just withdrew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the problem.
Yeah,
right?
because I agree. I mean, we should not interfere in Syria, for instance. I am against interfering in Syria because who are we going to be on what side? They're all bad guys. It's the terrorists against the dictatorships and the Sharia lovers against the tyrants. They're all, it's a mess. We should not interfere. They need to discover who the true enemy is. And every time we start interfering out of humanitarian reasons, we are preventing them from understanding their own problems. Yeah. Yes.